got any other questions?
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
What's your website, Harjinder?
Harjinder'sKitchen.com.
Thank you.
Howdy, I'm Harjinder, and I've been cooking Punjabi food for over 40 years now. And so I used to be an advice worker, and then I appeared on the Hairy Bikers show on Britain's Best Dish, and just like the demand was just so great that, you know, I had to, I gave up my job basically, and I started Harjinder's Kitchen. And what we're going to do is we're going to just have a look at the spice tin, because like any sort of craftsman, your tools of your trade are very important. And once you've got this, it's not very difficult to put it together. This is an old biscuit tin, and it's beakers. And because I do a lot of cooking, that's why I like to have quite a lot at hand. And basically, the light and the air has an effect on spices. So as long as you keep them airtight and in the dark, they will last you for ages. And I know the spice racks look absolutely brilliant, but it is really important to keep them in the dark and airtight. So we're going to just go around a little journey around the spice tin today and just have a look to see what we've got in there. So I'll start off with paprika, and everybody knows paprika. Be careful how you sniff these. They're ground flaked red chillies. Then we've got lovage seeds. Now these are seeds that are very good for digestion, and we use them for vegetarian cookery. Everybody knows turmeric adds a nice colour to your curry, adds lots of medicinal properties. They're antibiotic, antibacterial, of the Kala Masala. Now this is my mum's recipe, and it's and this is what's in it: coriander seeds and black pepper. So if you just want to put those, that's the whole seeds, and they're just ground in a coffee mill, and it's coriander seeds, whole coriander seeds and black peppercorns. I think my mum put it together, it's a third of black peppercorns and 2/3 of coriander seeds, because I think in India, where things were quite very expensive, it just makes the masala go a lot further. And the other blend that we've got is garam masala. Now this is, again, it's something that I put together because I like to have consistency in my curries. And I know you can get a garam masala packs in the shops, and they've got a host of things in them, like bay leaves and cumin and lots of different spices. But because I like to make sure that you know, I'm consistent with what I've got, and I don't overpower them with anything, because when you're grinding those kind of mixes down, you don't know how much of what you're going to get into it. So that's why I'm sort of very precise with my garam masala, which is black cardamoms, cinnamon and cloves. So this is a cumin, so if we use it whole, or you can actually temper it and then grind it, and that gives it a completely different aromatic kind of smell to it. So, but I like to use it whole as it is. Thank you. Roti, which is fenugreek. It's dried fenugreek, and basically what you do is you drop it into like a tablespoon into a glass of water, just swizzle it about a bit and just let it hydrate. I'll just open this one, but you can have a look if you want to pass that around. And it adds a really nice, it's dried fenugreek, it's fresh, it's like spinach, but when it's dried, it gives it a nice aromatic flavour, and especially when you're going to use the chickpea, you're going to make the chickpea curry, add that to it and it's just lovely. And then we've got bay leaves. Does everybody know what bay leaves are like? Yeah. So today we're going to make lentil dal, and it cooks in about 12 to 15 minutes. A cheap and cheerful kind of menu, but the principles that you're going to learn today is what's going to, you're going to adapt it to anything, almost anything that, you know, any curry. 95% of curries, the taka masala base that you're going to cook today, and then you're going to split it into two, just to show you how easy it is to cook different dishes and still have the taste. The masala base that you're going to cook today, you can adapt it and use it with meat, with vegetables. I'm just making the dough for the rotis, for the chapatis.
Okay, and that's got what sort of flour in it?
It's called chapati flour. It's called atta in Punjabi, and it's just water and the flour mixed together. It is. Especially if you're doing it for quite a few pieces. So you're just using your knuckles. Do this a few times until it's nice and smooth, and you think you've got all the lumps out.
Assafoetida. Oh yes.
You can find it quite easily though.
Yeah. There are lots of Asian stores, aren't there?
Oh, yeah.
It's brilliant.
Right here. So yes, you can start cooking, folks. Once you've done all your prep. So you need to add your you need to add some of your ingredients to the dal and get that on the boil. And you've got spice tins as well. So just follow the recipe for the dal. Put everything in the pot for the dal, and that'll start cooking. And then you need to start making. And one of the other people in your group could start frying off the onions.
6 cloves of garlic. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. 1/4 teaspoonful of garam masala.
We missed the paprika there.
Yep. 1 teaspoon of paprika.
Right, so we put all spices in. Do we not put, no, our spices, ginger.
1/4 teaspoonful of garam masala.
Right, ginger, chilli and tomatoes.
Do we know which one's the garam masala?
Ginger.
I wonder if I've just put that. That must be it.
I think that I'd vote for that one.
Yeah.
Know more about
Yeah, it is.
Mixture one, isn't it?
1/4.
1/4. 1/4 teaspoon of red chili flakes.
I'm saying it's that.
Yep.
and then
Then it moves on to the fresh ginger, sliced or grated. So presumably half.
And we just put all this in, do we?
No, I think it isn't some used for the other dish as well.
Right.
it says it there.
So 1 tablespoonful of
Yes, awesome. But it's alright. It's just
methi, dried fenugreek leaves.
Only a little bit.
You doing smell-o-vision?
Ooh, yes. Very nice.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's great.
That's for your next one.
Does that feel like there's just a little bit going
Yes,
in there?
yeah, don't worry.
Oh, good, yeah.
And then,
Okay, so that has to be. You need to.
And then what?
do you put the coriander in straight away?
You can do, yes, because it cooks so quickly.
Okay.
It takes about 12-15 minutes.
A handful of coriander.
Yes, about half. Yeah. But if you want to just do it, I'll just take a little bit just off the surface.
So we're putting a teaspoonful of cumin seeds.
Heat oil until fairly hot.
This is for the taka.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, not crazy.
Taka. Turka. Well, it keeps sounding. It sounds Japanese when I say it rather than. So we're
Toast for 5 seconds.
we're toasting these for how long? Seconds.
Yeah. Take photos. Alright, good.
Now we're going to put in a little bit of the assafoetida, as this is the magic ingredient. So this is the onions and the what seeds were they? Cumin seeds.
Yeah.
We'll wait until it browns up, and then we're going to add first of all the garlic, and then when that browns up, we add the ginger, which is got more moisture in it. I think. So it brings the temperature down a bit. This is the base for both the mushroom and for the what's the other one called? Tomato?
No, chickpea.
Chickpea curry. Didn't she call it karahai or something? Anyway.
I missed that bit.
Okay. But it's had tomatoes in it after we've cooked the garlic and the ginger somewhat. And now it's just going to reduce a bit. Meanwhile, it looks like the dal is more or less finished. Right, we've split the karai into 2 halves, and this is half of it, which is going to be the chickpea curry. So we put the chickpeas in, and we're now mixing them up. Is it still on the heat? Yep.
Just last minute extreme.
And we're putting in what?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So this is our mushroom curry
Yep.
with the cumin, turmeric, salt, paprika, garam masala, and red chili flakes.
Yep.
And we've already made the base, the karai base,
Just mixed in with it.
which is mixed in.
Yeah.
And even though it looks a bit dry, we've been told not to add liquid because it will come out of the mushroom. And set it on low and leaving it for about 10 or 15 minutes. So this is
tablespoons.
so this is the, what is it? This is the roti?
No, the raita.
Raita.
Yeah.
And it's got cucumber, yogurt, a little bit of chilli, what else?
It's oh yeah, there you go.
Is that alright?
Chilli, bit of salt, some lovage seeds, and we've mixed it all together and it's got a little bit of green chilli and a handful of fresh coriander when we're finished. Just got it in.
So you don't have the
Hey, that's cheating.
because the house would be, when my mum did a dhokha, the whole house you knew down the street that mum had done a dhokha.
This is the mushroom curry, and we really didn't believe that there was enough liquid in, but we put the top on, left it for 5 minutes, and now it's full of liquid. Result.
Session, so I'll write it.
Now this is the taka.
Just a sort of an outline. I mean, I can't
It's got
go
fried
into
onions.
detail. I'll put some tips and bits on and photographs.
Garlic, which is now toasting, and we're going to add the astafatida. Okay, we're putting the taka into the dal.
It's definitely right.
Yeah.
It goes in there.
Oh, I've not tried your dal.
And then mix it in.
Oh, I've not tried anyone's style.
So there we have the finished raita, the finished mushroom curry, the finished chickpea curry, and the dal, including taka.
Which is a hot plate. You can use a frying pan, heavy frying pan instead if you haven't got one at home. But I'd say invest in it because they cost about $6.99 and it's a really good investment.
Rather than wrecking your frying pan.
Yeah.
What are they called?
A tava.
Tava.
Yeah. T-A-V-A.
Right. And that was just the plain flour and water
That
mix.
was the plain flour and water. Yeah. Just made it and then let it rest. And this is the traditional way of making the chapati. So you wait until it's turned beige and then turn it over.
Is there any oil on the pan?
No, none at all. Gosh. This little shiny bits is probably when if I've made a paratha or something like that, and it sort of burns itself on. So you're cooking the first side, and gently, as you're lifting it up, you're looking at it, and then where it's not cooked, you press it down.
All right.
Now, to give you an even more authentic taste to your chapati, you can cook it. Once you've cooked it, you can cook it on the flame.
On the flame?
On the flame.
Wow.
So, you know, my mum used to make it in a tandoor, and she tried to teach me, bless her. She did try to teach me. And I looked at that fire pit and I said, no way am I going to put my hand in there. And so
What are you rubbing in there?
I'm now I'm glazing it. This is how you eat a traditional chapati. This is why I said that this taste you will not get anywhere. And this is glazed with butter, or you could, if you're vegan, you can use oil. If you all want to pass that round and have a taste.
Oh, come on then.
Pass it round, yeah? Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely delicious.
Now this is called a chakla, which they use again in India, where it's an outdoor kitchen. They'd be on the floor and they didn't have a worktop, so they'd have this little mini board on legs and they'd use that. So I'm just going to throw it from hand to hand, and you're getting rid of the excess flour.
That's right, it's connection
And you get rid of the excess flour and you're making it a bit bigger as well. So you just dip it into the flour, place it in your hand, and you're giving it a mini knead. So you're taking all the rough edges and pressing them in and turning it round at the same time, and then rolling it in with the palms of your hands. At the same time looking at your other chapati.
multitasking.
Yeah, and that's your ball of...
Oh, hold that up again.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Thing
yes.
at one end and the other, it's got a kind of weird shape in it.
Oh, right, right.
Change it as well.
It's people from different regions.
She's from Russia.
Yeah, well, in India.
Well, her parents are Indian.
Oh, right, yeah,
And
so
she's
from
from
different regions. They have different ways of making, having...
Our finished dal, mushroom curry, chickpea curry, and raita, is it called? Raita? Raita.
Oh, right.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Now you've got